When it comes to dating, Ariana Grande has been through a lot, so we thought we'd give you a little breakdown about everything and anything you need to know about the Thank You Next singer's love life. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is What's Hot on Hollywire. The first thing you might be wondering, is Ariana Grande dating anyone right now? At this moment, no, not officially, but possibly.
Yeah.
Grande was linked to Mikey Foster of Social House. They were even seen on a double date at Disney. But according to Us Weekly, they recently broke up, which makes sense as she was even more recently spotted making out at a bar with a stranger right here outside of Los Angeles. It seems like Ariana is single and loving it at the moment, which we are totally here for. As for her relationship status, well, I guess only time will tell.
Only time will tell. And also, it makes sense, especially when you're in the public eye, you want to make sure you're really sure about your relationship before you go public.
Right.
So I feel like there's multiple steps. It's like, she could be hanging out with people and not wanting to release that information because she herself doesn't know the future of the relationship.
Absolutely, which, I get and totally respect. It's kind of like introducing your boyfriend to your parents. You don't do it until you are freaking sure.
And you don't introduce the internet to your boyfriend until you're also freaking sure.
Exactly. Like no IG feed pics with significant other until.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense because I feel like her relationship with Mikey, it was like they were hanging out, but it was never really official until it was over, and then she felt the need to release a statement about it.
Totally. As TikTokers like to say, they were talking.
They were talking, and then those Disney pics surfaced, and then people wanted to know what was happening. Like we wanted to know. But now we know. So now to take a little trip down memory lane, let's look into Ariana's dating past. Okay, so her first boyfriend was Graham Phillips, who she met on Broadway when she starred in 13, the musical. The couple dated for 3 years and even released a song together in 2010, the year before they split. Next, in 2013, she dated Australian musician Jai Brooks, but that ended poorly when Brooks broke up with Grande over a text message.
This makes me feel so much better about myself. I've actually never been dumped over a text message, but if Ariana Grande gets dumped over a text message, I'm gonna be okay because she's so perfect.
It's so true, and I mean, it kind of is fitting to that relationship because that relationship also started digitally. Mm-hmm. They met through hashtags. Jay and his brother were trying to see who would get her attention first. And so they started a hashtag, and then after the hashtag went out, then she met him in person and they dated, and then he broke up with her. I'm surprised he didn't break up with her over a hashtag.
Wow.
Hashtag this is over. I'm happy he did
hashtag
the text message.
Thank you next.
Hashtag thank you next, and then she wrote the song years later.
She was one step ahead of him.
She knew.
Then in 2014, she dated the wanted Nathan Skies. They dated for about 2 years. They made music together, but Skies wasn't included in Thank You Next, which he was okay with. He thought the bop was still really good, even though his name wasn't in the song. Then Ari dated Big Sean, who she met when making her debut album. Next, she dated her backup dancer, Ricky Alvarez, who you might remember as the boyfriend she was with when she infamously licked that donut.
Oh,
yikes. He made the cut for her song Thank You Next with the lyric, wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh. And now the two are still friends to this day.
So funny.
I know.
It also makes sense. Her Thank You Next, I feel like she kind of started her roster of guys a little later in her life because I feel like her earlier relationships, they're kind of like young love, but not even young love, just kind of like high school crushes. And
totally.
Yeah, because relationships I feel like aren't real until you're a little older usually.
Yeah, I think these were the most, maybe the ones in the song were the ones that she's actually genuinely thankful for.
And then from 2016 to 2018, Ari dated Mac Miller after their split due to his substance abuse issues. She started dating and then quickly got engaged to Pete Davidson, but when Mac Miller died later in 2018, Grande had such a hard time dealing with his untimely passing, understandably so. Later it would be revealed that Miller's death is ultimately what broke up her and her engagement with Pete, which is just that year, 2018,
was a tough year
so
for
much
her.
that she was going through. And I get now thinking back on this, I understand why she took his death so hard because she probably blamed herself a little bit that she wasn't there to help him through his substance abuse issues. I'm sure
totally.
Just guessing, and that was just
Oof. I think in ways we can relate to that and understand that because we all kind of do that in relationships no matter what the outcome is. And I understand why this strained on her and Pete 100%.
100%. That has to be just so hard. And also the thing not mentioned here, but you guys know, is that her and Pete, even though it seemed like a whirlwind romance, they had known each other for 3 or 4 years before they had actually started dating. So it kind of makes sense.
Totally.
That was like that.
Who is your favorite boyfriend of Ariana's past? Who do you want to see her date next? Let us know. That could be a fun game we play.
Game that you could play. And also, you could say that you want to see her date herself because, dating yourself is a great thing.
It's very on trend right now. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
I'm Gabi Conti, and follow us on Hollywire for your celebrity connection.